Hello friends, welcome back to Technique, and today we'll be doing the detailed camera review of one of the really popular or sought after device, the iQOO Neo 7 Pro. Now the iQOO Neo 7 Pro was announced a couple of days back, and this has created a really great buzz with the pricing. It comes with a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 chip and really great hardware offered just for 31,999 including the card offers. Otherwise it's priced 33,999. Still a great pricing or great value for money device out there. But a lot of you have doubt how good the camera experience is. Now this has a triple camera setup and also a 16 megapixel selfie camera. So let's see how good the camera experience is on this device. Now the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 chip is a very good chip, and it has a really good camera ISP. So let's see how good the experience is on the iQOO Neo 7 Pro. So before getting into the camera review, if this is your first time on this channel, do hit that red subscribe button and also hit the bell icon to get notified of all the videos we publish. So let's begin. So first let's have a look at the camera hardware. Now the primary sensor is a 50 megapixel Samsung's GN5 sensor with f1.88 aperture. Now the secondary camera, in fact the first camera, the primary camera also has optical image stabilization. Now the secondary camera is an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera. Then you have a third 2 megapixel macro sensor. Now that's the primary, or rather the rear camera setup. It's a triple camera setup and looks quite good in terms of hardware being offered at this price segment. Now in terms of front camera, here you get a 16 megapixel f2.45 aperture selfie camera. So that's the camera hardware as a whole. So let's see how good the camera experience is on the iQOO Neo 7 Pro, and is it really good device in terms of camera experience. So let's first have a look at the daylight captures. Now let's first have a look at the daylight captures. So here you can see that the daylight captures have come quite good. There is good amount of details on offer. The sharpness level is quite good. The colors are a bit vivid, and that's typical iQOO and Vivo devices. They do have a bit of saturation, but nevertheless the overall quality of the image looks good. The dynamic range could have been a tad better, but otherwise we feel that this is quite good performance from iQOO Neo 7 Pro in terms of the rear camera. Now the 50 megapixel GN5 sensor is quite a capable sensor, and this is more or less evident. The images are pleasing, and overall the quality looks good. The only area where we feel it could be a tad better is the dynamic range, especially with shadows. It's not really evident, but this could be fixed with hardware updates, but otherwise it's a quite good camera. Now the ultra wide angle camera is 8 megapixel shooter, but the color science is slightly different from the primary camera. Here again you can see that the images are a bit too soft, quite obvious from the 8 megapixel shooter, but otherwise it's kind of decent experience overall from the 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera. Next let's move on to the close-up images. Here also you can see that there is good amount of details, great sharpness levels, and quality is good, but again saturation issues are there, a bit of saturated images, but again these are more of a personal choice. Some people do like saturated images, so for them this won't matter much, but otherwise the color quality could be slightly better overall. Now there is also a macro camera, but here again you can see that the macro is kind of very average, nothing great about the macro camera. It's a typical 2 megapixel shooter which we see on most of the devices. Now moving on to the portraits, this is one area where we feel iQOO should be doing better. You can see that the portraits, the skin tones are not at all accurate. It's kind of too much whitish in nature, while the edge detection and the background blur looks good. Work needs to be done in terms of the skin tones of the portraits, and also the human subject skin tones are not at all accurate. This is one area where iQOO needs to improve. Now moving on to the low light captures. Now indoor artificial light, it produces really good images. They are devoid of noise, and good detailing, good clarity is there. Again colors are quite okay, I would say. And now when it comes to extreme low light and indoor lighting, again it does produce pretty good results. Colors are a bit saturated, but again not a major concern. You can see that there is a good amount of details on offer. The noise levels have been cut down, but the images are a bit soft in nature with the night mode turned on, but again not a major concern. Overall we feel the low light captures came out quite good and won't be disappointing at all. So overall we feel the low light captures have come good. Now moving on to the selfie, this is one area where iQOO Neo 7 Pro does well. The skin tones are much better than the rear camera, and does quite good job here. The dynamic range is good, the sharpness levels and overall quality of the selfies does look good, but again selfies are more of a personal choice. So what do you guys think about the selfie on the iQOO Neo 7 Pro? Do let us know in the comment section. Now the portrait selfies also came out quite good. The background blur is again really good. The edge detection is also quite well done. So selfies are definitely good on the iQOO Neo 7 Pro. Now next, let's move on to the video recording. Now you can do 4K 60 FPS video, and you can see that there is EIS and optical image stabilization included. The video quality is quite good amount of sharpness, but again, once again, the dynamic range could be a tad better, but overall we feel that this is quite good video recording in the 4K 60 FPS. Now there is also 4K 30 FPS support. Once again, you can see that the video looks a bit saturated, but otherwise the stabilization looks really good, and also the quality of the video looks great. So this is the 4K 30 FPS footage from the iQOO Neo 7 Pro. Now the 1080p at 60 FPS also looks good. Once again, the stabilization is implemented really well. Even while panning, you don't see any sort of jerks or issues, and it's very smooth overall. And even the 1080p at 30 FPS video also looks great. So overall, in terms of video quality, we wouldn't say there are any issues because the stabilization is well done. The colors could be a tad better, but again, not a major concern. So overall, we feel the video quality is done quite good. Now there is also ultra wide angle camera. Here the colors are more natural than the primary camera, but the video quality is kind of okayish, I would say, for the 8 megapixel shooter, and it can record videos only in 1080p resolution at 30 FPS using the 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera. Now there is also slow motion support. You can go up to 240 FPS with the 1080p resolution, and it's quite good actually. So this is the slow motion capture taken from the iQOO Neo 7 Pro. So this is the front facing camera sample taken with the iQOO Neo 7 Pro. It can record videos in 1080p resolution, and you can judge yourself how good the clarity of the video is, and also the audio output. So that was the detailed camera review of the iQOO Neo 7 Pro. Now summing up, how good is the camera on the iQOO Neo 7 Pro? We would say it's quite good camera, especially the daylight captures, then the low light captures, and the selfies are also good. The video recording is good. So overall, the rear camera, that's a 50 megapixel camera, does quite good job, except for one thing, that's the color science. It's slightly on the saturated side, but again, not many people would actually bother about that. They do love vivid and colorful images for social sharing. If you are one of them, then you shouldn't be worried about the color science. It's quite good and rich in colors, but if you care about real colors or natural colors, then probably you might be slightly disappointed with the color science. But otherwise, it's a good camera, the rear primary camera. But one area where we feel iQOO should be improving is the portraits and human subjects. The skin tones from the rear camera definitely needs work. Otherwise, it's a quite good camera. The second and third camera is a kind of average. That's kind of average for most of the devices with 8 and 2 megapixel. So we're not going into that, but the primary camera is definitely promising. With a few more updates, this could be definitely one of the good cameras out there in this price segment. It won't disappoint users. That's one thing we feel about the iQOO Neo 7 Pro. So that was our camera review of the iQOO Neo 7 Pro. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. What do you guys think about the iQOO Neo 7 Pro in terms of camera experience? Do let us know your thoughts in the comment section. This is Nirmal signing off. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.